Welcome back. And today is day 4 of our 90-day transformation journey. It's on the 13th of August 2026, and we have around 84 days to go. I think that's such a big win because what matters at the end of the day is consistency. So today I managed to skip the rope as usual 1,000 times, and I also did yoga, and I'm very proud of myself today because I was able to do 1 hour, yeah, full yoga. I remember the last 3 days I've just not been able to do one complete full hour because it was really tough. But today I celebrate myself because I was able to push myself to the edge and I accomplished that. I changed the yoga that I did today. I did cardio yoga, and yeah, it was quite manageable, though a lot of sweating. Definitely not easy, but it was more manageable as compared to the other one that I've been doing the last 3 days. Yeah, that has been quite heavy. And during my reflection today, I was thinking about the woman that I believe I am. I was thinking about the whole aspect of self image based on the book that I'm reading right now. And I've been asking myself, basically, who do I believe I am? Not what family says or friends, but I as an individual, who do I really believe I am? Okay, I'm talking about the person that I see when I look at myself, maybe in the mirror. And I want you to, just join me in this reflection journey and ask yourself the same question. Because I think sometimes we really spend so much time trying to change ourselves. Definitely, most of us want to lose weight, become more disciplined, make a lot of money, become billionaires, right? Wake up early, have good relationships, be more confident. We all want a peaceful life and become different versions of ourselves, or rather, the best version of ourselves. But if the person we are trying to become is constantly fighting against the way we see ourselves, I believe that that could be a very big challenge, yeah? Because it's very important to have a healthy and realistic self image if we really want to go far or if we really want to make it in life. Just live a satisfying life, we really need to be able to accept ourselves, trust ourselves, believe in ourselves, be able to look at ourselves honestly. Okay, not believing that we are more than we are, or not believing that we are less than who we are. I think that's really, really important because this helps us ask ourselves very uncomfortable questions. Questions like, do I actually like the person I've been seeing when I look at myself? Okay. Definitely not looking at physical appearance. The way what you feel deep down, what you feel inside. That is what I'm talking about. When there's no one in the room, but just you looking at yourself in the mirror, or when you're going through those struggles, are you proud of the person that you are deep down? The person that, your self image, are you proud of it? The woman underneath everything, or the man underneath everything. Okay, do I really, or do you really trust yourself, believe in yourself, give promises to yourself? If you promise to carry through a task, are you able to do it to completion? Speak kindly to your inner self. Okay. uh, Also, definitely the beliefs that we carry along. Do we believe that we are capable of living beautiful lives? Or do we believe that we deserve good things? Okay. Do we quietly accept a version of ourselves that we even don't actually like? Because there are people who have given up, and that is what happens. They just decide, okay, this is it. So I prefer to live this way. That means they're giving up. So are we in that situation? So maybe you're listening to me right now and you're realizing that you've done the same things in one way or the other at one point or another. Or maybe you've created an image of yourself based on failures, things that you've done in the past, and maybe you failed at something and now you call yourself a failure. Okay. Maybe someone rejected you and now you believe you're not good enough, right? That happens. Or maybe you're struggling financially and you've started believing that you'll always struggle. I know, I know, I'm a culprit of that. Sometimes, just not having money for quite a long time, you kind of start believing that maybe that's your fate. So, yeah. Or maybe you've started something and you quit so many times that you've actually stopped trusting yourself. I've been there several times or made mistakes. And you're still carrying that slowly but slowly without even realizing it. And before you know it, you start to believe that maybe this is just who we are. Okay. That happens. Honestly. I have had those moments so many times. So this is meant for just not me alone, but for all of us. You might simply be carrying a picture of yourself that you no longer represents who you are becoming. And that's very dangerous. I really just want us to think about that because that's what beginning to understand uh, during this 90-day challenge. When I started this 90 days, I thought I was simply changing basically my habits by doing a few things that are put on a checklist, like waking up early, and I share this on my socials. Exercising. I do skip the rope. Definitely doing yoga, reading. I've mentioned that my reflection today comes from the book that I'm reading, and praying, taking care of myself by drinking more water, eating better, spending less time scrolling. Oh my God, that's such a big challenge. Or staying consistent and disciplined. And yes, I'm doing all of those things for sure. But I'm also realizing that something much deeper is happening. And it's the fact that I'm changing the evidence I have about myself. Every morning that I get up and exercise, when I don't feel like it, I'm telling myself, you know what, Irene, you are someone who follows through. Or every time that I put my phone down instead of spending hours scrolling, that's a signature to myself that I'm actually someone who controls her attention. And every time that I choose silence instead of reacting emotionally, definitely that's again another signature telling myself that I can control myself. So every time I sit down and do things I promise myself I'll do, I'm telling myself I am also someone I can trust. And maybe that's how we actually begin to change our self image. I'm not so sure because I'm yet to complete the book, but I'm sure it's part of the journey. Definitely not overnight, of course. Like now we are just in day 4. And when you're starting out, we feel like we have already achieved it, but it's a journey. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Not by saying one affirmation and suddenly believing everything, not really. And but through evidence, one decision at a time, I believe, one promise that we keep at a time, one morning at a time. You start showing yourself that I am different, I can trust myself, I can depend on myself, I can change. And I think this is especially important for anyone who has been really hard on themselves. And I have been hard on myself, my goodness. Or maybe you're just watching this and you don't like yourself very much right now. You're disappointed in the way your life has turned out, especially when age starts keeping up with us. You are there 40, 50, my God. Or maybe you've made decisions that you're ashamed of, you've lost money, gained a lot of weight, failed several times, you have stayed in situations that people don't accept or appreciate you. You've started something and abandoned it. Definitely you've broken promises to yourself. And perhaps you've started looking at yourselves and thinking, what's wrong with me? Please, let's just take a moment and stop, okay, and consider another possibility. Nothing is wrong with us, definitely, for sure. We just have to work on our mindsets because we are human and we we are just there, not meant to be perfect. We make mistakes, we lose our way sometimes, we be hurt, we get disappointed. And That's very normal. And all that matters for sure. It does. We just don't have to hate the people that you're becoming, either a man or a woman, in order to become, the woman that you're becoming. You don't have to hate who you are right now. So I call upon us not to spend the next 90 days punishing ourselves for everything that we do wrong. That's not what this challenge is all about. I don't want this 90 days to be a punishment. No, I don't want to wake up every morning thinking, oh, I need to fix myself because I'm not good enough. Hell no, I don't want that. I don't want to wake up and say, I'm not worthy showing up. Of course I am. Or I'm not worthy taking care of. Or I'm not worthy of becoming. I'm not worthy of believing again. No, no, let's not carry this kind of mindset. And that's completely a different mindset. Because I'm not trying to become someone else. I'm just trying to become the fullest, healthiest, strongest version of who I am already and the potential to be. I believe I have that potential for sure. And maybe that's what you need to hear today also. And you don't have to become somebody else, of course, or to compare yourself with another person. You don't have to look at someone else's life and decide that you're behind, or you don't know because you definitely don't know the entire story. um just know your own story and not other people's story, definitely. So instead of all this, yeah, we just need to carry a good positive image about ourselves. We need to start believing in ourselves. um, and we need to start seeing ourselves differently. Okay, we need to see some ourselves as people who can make it, and we are gonna make it. Grow, we make mistakes, and still begin again. But we're giving ourselves that opportunity, right? So that's very, very important because, yeah, we have weaknesses, we have things that we need to work on, we've made mistakes, but we also have strengths, we have gifts, we have potential, and we're still becoming. It's a journey. So one day at a time, we don't need to be so hard on ourselves.